again, back-to-back, it's not a lot of teams win back-to-back championships, and we actually stumbled for quite a part of the season, actually into February. Actually, our coach, Bob Johnson, Badger Bob, actually passed away that year. He had a setback in August, and he passed away in December, but Scotty Bowman took over the team for that year. So he took over, and we were not going well for a long time. It was like end of February, and I remember having a big, huge meeting, and we kind of said, hey, you know what, enough's enough, let's get together. Let's, we're a championship team. Let's show we're a championship team. Proceeded to go and lose 7-2, I think, that night in Calgary. But right after that game, everything took off, and we started being a team that we should have been, and went from there.
Always good. What a party.
And again, we were the team to beat. We're a championship team the previous year, and in reality, back then we didn't have the salary cap and we didn't have the huge salaries, so everyone was kind of together. There was no division, even with Mario on the team. Like, he was in the middle with us, and we went, we had our luncheons all the time, we had our meals, we did everything together, and that's what was great about the team. And you can keep the team together from year to year, and I think that's why there's back then with the Islanders and the Edmonton Oilers, you can keep your team together, unlike these days where you got to change because of salary cap, and then championship teams, of course, the players want more money and the whole thing. So I think that thing of dynasties in hockey, it's done.
I think I've always approached this. This is Wendell's job, just as it's any other husband's job. His people get to watch him do his job, but it's his job. There's pressure in everybody's lives. So I've just always tried to, when you come home, I'll listen to if you need to vent about the game. I was always the one he could vent to. And I always had his support. I always thought he was, the greatest goaltender and the greatest husband and the greatest dad, and that's what he came home to.
I'm going to carry it, Seth. Can you handle it? Oh, and there is Walmart. There's
Attention, please. Would somebody get Joey a bud?
We had a lot of guys from the year before. We had a really good core of players, and they just added a few more here and there, and what needed. And Craig Patrick did a great job. He did a great job in the fact that he saw what we needed and went out and got it, and got the stuff and what we needed, got the players, and got the final couple pieces that did everything for us. Actually, I'm surprised I had a chance to win this, because I was actually supposed to be traded right before the deadline, and I went in to see Craig Patrick, and I asked him, I'd appreciate, you tell me what's going on. He says, well, it's an option, but he had a chance to trade me to a city that I didn't want to go, and I said, I've done everything that I've asked of him. I said, I understand if I'm going to get traded, we have extra goalies and this and that, and I said, but if you cannot, I appreciate if you didn't trade me to the city. And he thought for a while and said, okay, Wendell, I'll promise you I won't trade you to that city. I found out the next morning from my friend, which is the equipment manager, that I was supposed to be traded that next morning, and he canceled the trade to that particular city. So it was kind of unique, and I ended up not getting traded, and ended up being a part of another Stanley Cup winner.
2 in a row.
The Hawks had gone on a massive winning streak, and we went on a massive winning streak, and we met up, and we won the series 4-0. It was not by far a 4-0 series. It was, they were up 3-0 early in the first game, and we had some miraculous goals and some highlight goals. And we win 1-0 our game 3 here. Tom Barrasso played unbelievable, and then just having the celebration in the old stadium, it was kind of unique. And again, the old stadium, small dressing room, so we were on top of each other, just celebrating like crazy, and never won it at home. Actually, the 2 celebrations going back to Pittsburgh, landing in Pittsburgh, and just you couldn't move because the highways were parking lots. Everyone was at the airport. They said there was like 70,000. It was a long weekend, our first one, and the highway was parking lot. People were just parking and walking to the airport. It was so crazy. And the second one was a little more unique. They blocked off the highways so we can get down, but just a celebration. You know, we were in Three River Stadium. There was like 65,000 people in Three River Stadium for the celebration, and just it was crazy. And it's the same thing with the second one. It was the second one was like we won the first one. It was like it doesn't get old, and you know, we had pretty well a lot of the same team back, but still some new guys, and then we were seasoned veterans of how to party.
I love you, baby. I love you, baby. We're bringing the cup back to that point mark.
Joe and Brian need new contracts, doo-dah, doo-dah. Joe and Brian need new contracts, oh, doo-dah day.
Wendell had a very special role on that team, and at that point, especially with that second championship, he wasn't able to back up during the final run, and we won it on the road, but Wendell was honored with he was picked as the one to carry the cup off the plane, and that is a moment I will always remember as being very special, because I think that speaks a lot to what his teammates thought of him, and I think that was a really special moment.
I'm ready. A little twist, a little pop.
I've been waiting all year to do that.
I felt very lucky to watch somebody have their dream come true. I think that's a very special position to be in.
Actually, the ring's kind of unique because it's got both Stanley Cups, 2 Stanley Cups on the side, and it says back-to-back, back-to-back Penguins, 2 diamonds on top to represent the 2 Stanley Cups, the back-to-back, and then 16 small diamonds around it. And Young #1 on the side, and kind of a colorful penguin this time. So it's a big ring. I thought it was massive. That was the biggest ring. I thought it was like a trophy when I got it. Now, comparative to the rings that I see now, it's actually a pretty small ring, and I'm actually wearing it a little more than because I said it was too big to wear. Now I'm actually wearing a little more than I have in the past.